I found a machine on my workbench that I had never built. The door was locked, the windows had not moved, and taped to the machine was a note in my handwriting. Do not take this apart. Build another one. At first, I thought someone was playing a very expensive joke. The machine was small enough to carry, but too strange to identify. Black metal, one orange switch, a clock frozen at 11:47. Under it was a stack of drawings. Every screw had a measurement, every wire had a path, even the scratches on the case were marked. The writing was mine, not almost mine, mine. But the lines were shaky, they looked like my handwriting after 20 more years. The first page gave me a test. I connected the two contacts, then I pressed the orange switch. For less than a second, the empty air above the workbench bent like hot glass, then it stopped. The next page said, "Good, now make the copy," so I did. I bought the metal, I cut the panels, I joined the wires, then I copied each step exactly. I did not understand the machine, I only understood the instructions. That difference started to bother me. Halfway through the build, I reached a mark on the drawing. A short diagonal scratch across the left side of the case. It did nothing. It was not an opening, it did not line up with a screw, it was just damage. But the machine I had found carried the same scratch, so I copied that too. Near midnight, two machines sat on the bench. One was old and worn, the other had been finished minutes earlier. They matched down to the useless scar on the side. Only one page remained. At exactly 11:47, place the new machine beside the old one. Turn both switches. The final line was underlined twice. The new machine will arrive here yesterday. At 11:46, I considered walking away. But walking away would leave the first machine unexplained. At 11:47, I turned the two switches. The air folded. The new machine vanished. The old one stayed. And suddenly I knew where the machine on my bench had come from. Me. I built it tonight. Then I sent it to myself last night. That explained the break-in. It explained the handwriting. It even solved why the machine looked older. From its point of view, yesterday came after tonight. It had been built before it arrived, even though it arrived before I built it. But it created a much worse question. Who designed it? I built my copy from the machine I received. The instructions existed because my older hand copied the pages I had already found. The scratch existed because I copied the scratch already on the case. Every part had a cause, but the design had no first draft. This is called a causal loop. The more familiar name is the bootstrap paradox. Physics has mathematical versions of this idea. Einstein's equations allow some strange paths through space-time that return to an earlier event. Physicists have even tested imaginary time loops using billiard balls on paper. Some paths can stay consistent. That does not mean this machine can exist. No one has shown a usable path into the past. A real wormhole may be impossible to build or keep open. Quantum effects may stop a time loop before it forms. The science leaves the workshop fictional, but it does not make the question disappear. Maybe the mistake is asking for a first inventor. A circle has no first point. Choose any spot as the beginning, and the circle was already arriving from somewhere else. The machine could work the same way. The older machine caused me to build the new one. The new one became the older machine. Every step has something before it. The whole chain simply has no outside beginning. That is not an obvious contradiction. It is just an explanation that never reaches an inventor. I looked again at the scratch on the old case. My hand had made that mark on the new machine, but I only chose its shape because the old machine already had it. I knew exactly when the scratch was made. I still did not know when the idea for it began.